Hello everyone, I hope everyone's having a really nice day. Thank you for joining me here. My name's Eva, if you haven't seen me before. Today, last night, the message was really coming through of getting myself in the center of this here. This of like the precipice of being sort of on the edge of taking a sort of step out of where you are into a new sort of experiential reality paradigm, maybe, if that's a word that you resonate with, that's coming through, sort of out of the kind of cocoon of this almost void space or transitional phase or sort of pause, this kind of time apart. And I resonate with this a lot, of preparation, of getting readiness. And this is coming forth as sort of a little maybe energetic push, and an energetic alignment, a sort of like kind of washing away, a cleanse of like this like last bit of the old. We're sort of just like what's kind of coming through is like as if you're in a pool and you sort of like push off from the bottom and just like kicking away any sort of little extra stringies that might be kind of keeping you back in this old reality or old beliefs, old storylines. It's really hard to rewrite your code, right? To sort of shift out of and to really believe that you can live a different kind of life than the life that you have all of this experience in and all this evidence that the future will be like the past. That does take a lot of work. So this is really the intention of this healing, is it for like deep assistance in believing in yourself that you do have the power to live the way that you want, that you have the capability of stepping into a different reality, that it's possible for life to be different, because we dream this and we envision it, but really taking those energetic steps to really be is a little different, right? The conceptual is a little different than the experience of it. So we work with these codes to sort of rest in the experience of that reality already existing and it being for you, and of everything being for you, of letting go of that belief that there are structures, people, energies, whatever, against you, the universe against you. Nothing is against you, everything working for you. But we have to believe that, and we have to let go of all that we currently believe that's held against that. So these codes help to bring that to light and then to wash them away. When you're ready, you have to be ready to let them go, and you really have to believe that you can let them go, that it's a possibility, that's possible for you to live in a different way. So just getting into a nice, it's really exciting. It's really, it's like spring. And it is almost spring, and it feels that way. This feels like right on the edge of a completely new reality, and so many things say that, so many videos that pop up, and maybe you see them because it is for you, and you're being led to really embrace that for yourself. And we have a lot of doubt, and that can be difficult, but we're really being called to let go of that doubt, let go of those limiting structures, the limitations of your past. You don't need those stories. You don't need them. They're not what you are. You are here to be as you are. You are here to be a being of joy as you were intended to be. Let go of all of the stories that tell you otherwise. They are things that your ego made up in defense of the truth. Believe that it is your divine right to be happy. This is what God wants. To know yourself, for you to know yourself as you are. So a nice deep cleanse, taking that step, and it's not necessarily in physical action. It can be, but that's usually comes after, as a very natural sort of automatic of course, so that's what I would do after you make the energetic choice. So this is a step in making that energetic choice. Maybe this is when you decide, I'm sure you have experiences. I certainly have experiences where something, things just happen, like keep happening based on this old belief. And that one day you're finally ready, right? You're like, no more of this. I choose now to live differently. And that is when you're finally ready. And that's when things change. You can think so much that I'm ready. I promise I'm ready, right? But things don't change yet, and maybe you weren't ready yet, but maybe now you are. We need to let go of the judgment of ourselves for when we're not quite ready, and understand that there is no right timeline for when you are ready. There's no rush. There's no one putting pressure on you except yourself. The call is to rest in each moment and to know that you have all of the information, and you will be shown all of the information by Spirit when it is right for you to be making the physical decisions or the physical actions. But that's always a manifestation of an energetic choice. And the process of us clearing the way to be ready is unique for each person. And this is part of this sort of energetic healing that we're doing at this time, to release that pressure on yourself. Maybe if you're not quite ready and you say, you know what, this is my time to figure it out. And it's perfect for me. And I'm still guided, and I'm still perfect, and I'm still divine, and I am still worthy, and I am still loving, and I am still calm, and I am still peaceful as I ever was. And this pause has nothing to do with my value. I haven't done anything wrong. Release yourself. Hinayonu kunayon doanim. Kibayos mishanayondo. Hinisan tuai. Hinayon no kanayon tuai nishana kanaina. Hisana wonto ani shinoyonto hani tarayoto sonchimiatis natarai. Hikayoto soncharakaya to sonshnaina. Santu kanayan tu kanaini sanash. Satayo soncharakiat osarayapa kuntukian sari. Hiato sonchanatria istaya sushara woro kunto sanan. Hi boto sonchiri ayos orwi hiatantia yituk. Huntoro koriki. Hui sonchiri tai kin ani ania. Hunto I fondo I shoro. Ruihiria tiesin chinindroisniti. Letting go of those ties that bind. Hinia sonchapa wasana. Huiritis undruitis iri. Hiakiana anchiari. Ayo konotoro yata. Ina sonchana yundu hiri tayoko. Sayo shuntu isu ayition su intuitoyot. Tayos uru. Hina suruhit. Ihin tindrato sonchakyon sot. Himiancharayon suichono andrayot. Divine timing doesn't mean that you are just cool with like your life being disappointing because there's like some person in the sky who like has a different plan for you. Like, that's not what that means. It is to rest in the knowing of yourself as peace, as love, as perfect divinity in all nows, no matter what is happening outside of you. This is about letting go of physical circumstance as any kind of validation or justification for your spiritual work. That comes from a misunderstanding, I think, of what the world is, which is a projection of our egos. And so this is assistance in letting go of those false paradigms, those false constructions, that false belief that the world exists outside of you. So if you're experiencing like harshness or judgment, that's never coming from Spirit. That's never, ever coming from Spirit. And Spirit never needs healing. Your soul does not need to be healed. Your spirit self is eternally perfect. It is one. Hiria sunshimia son so arihiat, usunihana ndarak ahai, ion sono nis arayoshun so irikaitis, hinamuntu anitio sunchirikin sarato sunchipis ayot. So it's like these sort of straggly beliefs. You know, you might be in a place where you've been doing the work for a long while, and it's these kind of like just little stragglers. You know, it could be attached to a narrative that you really want. You know, it could be like that divine sort of relationship that you know is possible. But you know, you're attaching to it as a term of value for you, or that you would be lacking if you didn't have it. Or it could be, you know, man, I mean, it could be anything. It could be anything that you feel is written in your heart to experience, but you're clinging to it in a way that's losing sight of what you want it for. And you know, it's springing from a belief that you need it to be worthy or to prove something. Hiria tasun chamian sanan tuin sai. Hitayo kunian saro yeshunto karayo tuso. Hireando sonos antianian. Ondo hini kinindi sieri. Hiya son shabaisi kinato son shakinato kunu ioro. Hiria sanchiri kianta. And I've talked about this before, and this came up in a sort of written guidance I was doing earlier for somebody. Like, we are the next phase of being, right? A change in perception is going to change the physicality that emits from that perception. It's a different set of dimensional physics. We don't know what that's going to be like, but it's not going to be like this. So we need to sort of just detach from this. And it's not out of like, whoa, this is all evil and shitty and like, F this. That's resistance. It's just dissolving your like attachment and participation with it energetically. You know, you still move around in the world, but that might be very quiet for you too right now. It's quiet for me. You know, and that's not a mark of you doing something wrong. This is all existing in a larger, you know, sort of narrative. Remember that the self is one. Humanity is one. All life on earth is one. And so we all have unique roles within that. And so asking spirit for a certain level of context, understanding that yourself is not limited to your present awareness. And so you can be doing work in all sorts of dimensional aspects of yourself that your current, you know, lifetime self, your personality isn't aware of. But that doesn't mean that you're not doing the work there, and it doesn't mean that the work you're doing there isn't affecting your present life, your present awareness. You know, it's sort of trusting that it's all going to come together, that you're going to know, that you're going to be led when it is in divine right timing. This is a sense of justice. Hiatia tukoruhina yoshono kontosinim bios yeshea. Hiya kionto sono shaman disiri kianta hinan turbi pisini antoshipi asakia. Shana sonso kinan do harayo sonjopi hasedi hita unatu yondo sombosho kieti sanahini. Indara sirihitio sokinandrato sonjopi ayo sonjohina anti. It's like letting go of all of this code that we've, you know, of the past, the continuity of the past, this like giant history book that we just like lug around with us at all times. You have to detach your identity. You have to detach your identity from that book so that you can write a new one. You can't have both, right? You can't serve two masters, that whole thing. Hia soni patakoni son sui shunto ariti suyut. Mitato son chakayas, yonto karo koru itian sarinti, inanto korkintayo ruhiti. And so this is really coming through as like kind of assistance with like emerging from the cocoon. Ina son chakar ruito son chokono ondo kinantati sani kana. Inandosi yopo korkini kintayok. O rukia sianchuno intasno, unto inantu, unto ishumuso to iti, o rukia si aihoshuno son sumasha, sayoshuno ani tandato son chakinandohut, inintasana unto son chini. We talked yesterday about this idea of releasing this sort of scrim, this like false, what is it? I don't play video games, but there's a thing. They're called skins, maybe? That like it's your sort of avatar, but that comes with like a storyline, but it's like something you're like putting on, like letting that go, like taking that off. Understanding we're afraid to do this because we don't believe that we exist outside of that. What we need to do is to get into the awareness that we exist, period, full stop. We exist, we are. Everything else is just story, masks, something we pick up. It's not our eternal being. You have to trust that you will exist without it and to really let it go. Sukaniandia sana ari, yondo anashini, mantayo kono indi sirio tiandrayo so, shian siri kin sirindi sarihini, inantayo konikana anti shinion sokina, hia yahinda wo kinti sunchimia sarayo tokori yisini nashonoto esanariti. And this really assists with connecting into that, multi-dimensional DNA, these sort of quantum genetics that is outside of what we consider to be the limits of our body, but is certainly part of ourself and where we can perceive from. Kina sunso konaishana wontuit, hi asna tunti sana inios, hiniantasara korruhi, hina shunuhin sari hina sono shunotua, saun tiamasana indioso kaiti ansoi, hiniantisini shanandraya sonchakaraiti sarat. And it's important to understand that that's not something you have to achieve or build. It is already part of you and it always has been. It's just that you're not aware of it. But it's yours for the awareness. It's yours for the perceiving. It's yours. There's a lot coming up. If you need to cough, even if you need to sort of pat like a baby, like move the energy around somehow, however that's coming through for you. If you need to yawn, if you need to like sort of cough, or even like whatever you need to do to sort of, it trickles down into the physical, right? So just like releasing. Hinion sokanai otokoni intaosu yashama hinayontu intayo sonchibi as atrayintai o queen or kiayo son chuiti hiukorukina iso tukuis hinas unchirihayo son toy otoyosu yashuris ya yanayondo iti okoru hinian shurimato akina. Hieto sunchmiundua, hiniosor, hi kien sai shin so yakin ziatot, hinisanandoasiat. It's really cool. It's like clearing all of these different masks from throughout time. But like, you don't keep them. You would dissolve them. Preserving the past is an attribute of the ego. Hinandroa sincha kina sonso iti anaoro. Shoro hinyasanando shumoso sukihari. Indayoko rukina yontokoni. Also lots of codes coming through for the neurological system. This is very difficult to describe what this looks like. It's like reestablishing connections that have kind of been maybe dormant, or in the sense of you not being aware of them, but in this present now, maybe not, for just semantics sake, not being connected. This might feel like pressure in your head. You could be having sort of maybe headaches, achy head. Yeah, that's a thing that people say. Vision, your vision could be maybe adjusting, your eyes might feel tired. Don't be afraid of this. Remember to take care of yourself, remember to hydrate. If you feel like you need to rest more than usual, don't be hard on yourself for this. Let yourself honor that. Don't listen to the hustle of the false. Hiniento son chini kandas no shamandro iti sini kien sato. Hiena tuni pata kunu ion tokoa. Hiena shoro itis otiondoa. Ontien indu kundipuro kiaro orro pier. Hinantori itis taiki. There's a lot coming out. Hianchui kienyash. Suruhita maya kiana. Unda tasana yontosho kuarat, oruitisini kiandakiana. Shuruitisya. Refuse to pay the price that the ego demands. It doesn't control you. You made it. You made it. Remind it that you made it. Hinindirihito, korkiniat. Shurrahato sunso ins. Shur hini sanando shini kindi kiniantoko. Sukinatro ison sharat. Oruhara hina kunyono. Ininduru hininduisuish. Sukitayontuko ruihiti asa. Yayoturi hiti sa intuishon sunin. Intaoso kitoru hiti suishia. And don't be afraid to be yourself. If you feel like a weirdo, that's good. I've never felt like I fit in, and it's taken up until like now. This is just like a continuous process of accepting yourself. You don't have to fit in. You're meant to make new ways of being, unique ways of being, right? This is why I don't really like the term neurodiversity, because it implies like a norm. No norm exists. We're not meant to be fitting ourselves into one pattern. Like, creation is infinite. There could be infinite ways of being. Don't limit yourself, and don't hate yourself for not fitting in to something that doesn't exist. You are love. You are so beautiful as you are. Let yourself see yourself as beautiful. You're not meant to hide. And yes, other people are meant to interact with you, but do it for yourself. Don't do it under the pressure of being ready to share the gift and to connect, and that other people are waiting for you. You need to accept it for yourself so that you can be happy and free in this now, knowing yourself, knowing your unique gifts, connecting to the world around you, because the world around you is you, and it is always speaking the song of your soul to you. But you won't recognize it while you're trying desperately to be other than what you are, or while you're hiding, or while you're conforming yourself and twisting yourself into a mold that you are not even meant to like be participating with at all. Big release here. I do wish, no I don't. I was about to say I wish this came out differently for me, because it sometimes is like a really gross coughing. But I'm going to take that as an example to be like, you know what? This is what it is. This is the way it comes out, and I'm grateful for the release. Lots in the throat, yes? Stop. I just did it, right? This is a prime example. Stop apologizing to yourself for being weird or being like out there or freaky or, you know, too much or not enough or not right or whatever it is. These are all constructions. You made them. You can unmake them. You don't need them. Kini son sonini ondoko ni eshono kontor hini asonchi ayo kuyun sot. Hina sonchi bi iki o toko hiat. Orwi hana undu kono insur hiti sion shokinandros. Shuru itayat. Unti sanantu sono shuru. Hita sunti kinindayo korruit. Huikinato son chamawesan. Indao son nimayushi kinit. Hiu ruitisio shuruit. Indao son imandrai. Hia yasonche miantor ruitia soncho koni antisiniat. Shiata isani indritis. Urruitisini shurrietis yakari. Yaturu. This is really about just not listening to your ego. When you have an attack thought, a limiting belief, come up into your awareness and you're hurting yourself with it because you are hurting yourself. That's the moment. Don't let it happen. Catch it. This thought I do not want. This is not a worthy thought. And this thought is unreal. I'm upset because I'm believing something that's not real. Kaya sunipa no tuanti shinihanat. Kinandroiti sinishinin kondu hindisiot. Kitaso kinato hindio sonchipitio sushi tio sonsokoa. Hita korru hiti sanai ayata sana hiniti sini kinta. Inda undu samasho ribia sahiti asi. Inda yo sochishio sonsonandia sini kintato sonjoshukia. And I don't usually talk about things that you should or could do in the physical, because that's not really where my the focus of my work lies, but make a little bit of time. Like if you're interested in something, like for me, I've always been interested in music, and I never believed, that I was a musician or that I could learn music or that I like belonged in that space or anything like that. And I just started making time for myself. It's, now with the world we live in, there's so many different ways that you can do things inexpensively. I just start messing around on GarageBand. Get yourself I got myself a little MIDI controller that was not expensive, and you just start basic, and then you make time for it and you let yourself explore those things, and you can try a million different things, and it's okay if the first thing you try isn't exactly what you wanted. It doesn't mean you failed. It means you're just trying different things in an infinite universe. You can try everything. Don't limit yourself and let yourself expand. Give yourself the time and the space to expand into it. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't make you money, if it doesn't get you followers, if you feel like people aren't paying attention. If those limiting beliefs are coming up around that, thank them, because it's showing you that where you are believing you are limited and what you believe value is. This is what I mean by everything is your spiritual teacher. But it does take the awareness. It does take the practice from sort of looking at yourself from above to see how you're doing all of this. It's really easy to get caught back in to the physical because it's very convincing. That's such as the power of our minds. And let that be evidence for the power of your mind. But this is, this is what I mean by we have all the tools we need in this now to do this work. It's all at the level of mind, of thought. This was really, really powerful. If you feel like you need to stay in meditation, I really suggest that, because there's a lot that's still sort of coming to the surface. Even if I say this sometimes, if you want to take a shower or a bath or something, maybe a shower might be symbolically more what it if you do it in meditation too, you don't have to physically take a shower, but connecting to the elementals is very powerful. Understanding that it's a way to learn more about yourself because we are made out of these elemental forces. So that's my suggestion. Or if you want to stay lying down or whatever, take a walk. But you know, if you do feel like you have to cough, or even if you want to cry, like let yourself have a nice cry, but don't attach to that, to feeling bad about it. Thank it for releasing, and look at it as an opportunity to more fully embody what you know you are capable of. You're making more room for your authentic self. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a really, really gorgeous thing. And we're not, just because our bodies are alone, maybe sometimes, doesn't mean that you're alone, because we're not our bodies. You could never be alone. You're not the limits of your body. I'm going to end it there. I want to thank everyone so much for joining me in this healing. I really hope that it was helpful to you. As a reminder, my birthday sale is still happening until March 15th, 2025. Everything is 50% off. That's in like the store. So written guidance, personalized one-on-one recordings, and all of the trance meditations, all 50% off. The code is happy34, happy 34. And yes, that's until Monday. So yes, sign up for my newsletter, because lots of messages coming through there, and just like updates and some fun stuff and music, and not just my music, but what I'm listening to, the art that I find, and all kinds of stuff, pictures I take, mostly of the sun and like the mountains, and links. I love a link. What else? One-on-ones are open for booking. I think that's it. There are astrological things happening here. If you resonate with those stories, this could be a powerful time to work with those. I don't really do that, but I understand that a lot of people find that helpful. So work with that. Remember, it's a tool. It doesn't tell you anything about yourself that is not, it doesn't project anything onto you. You project onto it. I just really feel strongly about that. But if you use it as a neutral tool to understanding yourself, I think that's very powerful. So yes, I'm going to stop rambling, and I hope that you guys have a really good night. Thank you.